Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our 177th episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary. Call me Sam. Trigger warning, this episode will include themes of abuse. I'm going to go around and have my players introduce themselves.
I'm Tyler, and I play Kyle, also known as Guards the Low. He's a Philodox of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Geta Fenris.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a Thurge of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sean. I play Zeb Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He is a Thurge of the Silent Striders.
Hello, my name is Riley, and I am playing Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Hi, my name is George. I am playing William Grows-Matrices. He is a Arun of the Glasswalkers.
Last time, the Pax met in with Natalie, the Ronin who had helped the kinfolk and had attempted to take out a Black Spiral Dancer. They confronted her about not knowing about the Spiral Dancer, and she explained that she knew the Spiral would attack the next protest and acted there. After Dimitri went on a hunt with her, trying to figure out things and if she was a stolen moon, the Pax sent her on her way. The Pax now head back to the nearby Sept to discuss things with the Garu there. After a bit of a drive, going up to the Sept after stealing another car, you get to the Sept and reach the Garu there. As you approach the elders,
I will pull the head of this BSD and present it as proof and trophy that she is dead.
Excellent. We thank you for your service to the Sept.
We've also worked to reconcile the victims of this thing, and we have a number of... Now, we've confirmed the identity of your kinfolk that were abducted by her and killed. And we can provide that in addition to others that we know at least weren't there, but are still missing.
Takes a deep breath. Their voice cracks a bit. Thank you.
The Ronin was responsible for tracking down the Black Spiral. They also set explosives and destroyed the houses while we went in and killed the Spiral.
Interesting. The Ronin did this.
Yes.
I'm shocked.
Oh?
Ronin are just creatures without honor. They choose not to. They never joined the nation, and they've never known what responsibility is. So the fact that she did this task speaks to something, but I'm not sure. Maybe she's rare amongst Ronin. Maybe she has a desire to truly pick a tribe after all.
She's allegedly visited 2 other Septs, and we've sent spirits there to confirm that this occurred to try to find out more. As you said, she's still Ronin, but we could indeed find out more.
I'm certain.
If anything, it's perhaps a Ronin you don't necessarily need to worry about.
For certain. Well, if you desire it, you may spend the next few evenings here in the Bond without any services rendered to the Sept, for you've done much for the Sept already, as a form of thank you.
That would be appreciated. Thank you. Gives us time to rest and meditate.
Does Dim, do you want to do Dream Speak?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah, let's do that, actually.
So that
You wanna
first
do it?
evening, then?
Yeah, for whoever you want to choose first.
I think Zeb's sister has more priority. Yeah. Alright.
Zeb will give her like a little bit of warning, just like, or not even warning, just like, hey, let me know when you're going down for to bed tonight. We're just keeping an eye out.
Sure, she goes, okay, so you get it like, William gets a text of, I'm going to bed now.
Cool.
No dreams then.
So, you try, but instead you just have your own dreams as you dream gently of catching deer with Natalie and how great that felt. It felt almost like being home.
Very nice dream.
So the next morning comes, you wake up.
Zeb, I wasn't able to reach your sister's dream. I know I usually do when I attempt it, but this time it did not work.
That's fair. Do you think you can try again?
Absolutely.
Well, we'll.
Another day.
Yep.
So it's the evening. You get another text of I'm going to bed. So
There we
you
go.
enter
One
the dream,
success.
as you see Constance just doing her normal thing, when the door is kicked open and Zeb grabs her by the arm and goes, "You are not living up to your duty. You need to fucking come here right now." As he drags her out the door and throws her into a car and drives off. You end up in a Sept as she's being married off to a Garu and she's begging for him not to. As the other warrior comes and she grabs the knife and she kills him, Zeb shifts into Krynos and she's like, "You motherfucker," as she sticks her knife into his belly and starts peeling his skin back, slicing it off piece by piece, and waking up in a start, which means you pop out of her dream at about midnight and lose a point of willpower because she woke up while you were still in the dream.
In that case, is there enough of the night left that I could attempt to go into Natalie's dream next?
You can.
Now
You
we
go
got 3
in,
successes.
you go into the dream, and the dream that you jump into looks almost exactly like Constance, except it's Natalie with a different Garu that she's peeling the skin off as you hear her just going, "If only I had the knife then, if only I had the knife then," crying and sobbing, a chain shackling her to the heart of the Karen, as the rest of the Karen simply watches, almost indifferent to this arranged marriage that she was brought to. As she turns around and she looks at you and she drops the knife. "Dimitri, no one was here to save me. I'm sorry."
What happened?
I had this vision where, was it the Sept of the Sentinel? Here? And it's exactly like this, except I didn't have the silver knife. One of the Sept Garu came. I was living my life in a cabin nearby, helping the nation in my own way, and he ripped me out, saying I should leave the fighting to the warriors. He dragged me here that I'd be locked away as another spectator, a kinfolk there to comfort her husband, rather than someone who could do something. But I had the knife this time, and I was able to stop him, Dimitri.
What do you mean this time? Have you had the knife before?
In the vision, I couldn't stop him. He took me to make me a housewife.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say.
It's okay, because I had the knife this time. And her voice gets kind of deep almost rustic, as you hear the voice. And thus, he didn't have to be born. And all was right. As her stance kind of changes a bit, she carries herself completely differently.
Do I recognize the voice?
You don't recognize the voice.
Who are you?
Call me Sam.
Alright, Sam, what are you doing here?
Just helping her out. Part of her needed to protect her. So that's where I came in. She saw someone with the same name, decided to petition out for it. Doubting the Valkenburg Foundation. But the fake one didn't live up to the real me. I'm the real protector, kinfolk. And I helped her find the secrets to get back.
I see.
Don't worry. It wasn't quite like that. He did everything he could to make her feel comfortable. But it was a neutering of her freedom. She wanted to do other things to help. And the Garu Nation couldn't see no kin doing it. That's why she created me. And that's why I fed her this little nightmare, to make it easier.
What do you mean created you?
The mind is a strange thing. It can create things to help protect itself from trauma, from a complete ostracization, from kin and kith. And that's what I am. I'm that protector. Something that she came up with based on various examples from her previous Sept.
I think I understand, but he doesn't have anything to be afraid of from me. Why are you talking to me?
Because she does have something to be afraid of you. It reminds her that she didn't always have to be Sam Haight.
I think I know who you are.
Do you now?
At least I know enough.
Well, howdy fucking do. Dimitri, you seem like a kind boy. And honestly, if you stayed in her life, maybe I wouldn't have to be here. But maybe I would have shown up in someone else, and they would have found the secret. But it don't matter. She was a wild thing who they tried to clip her wings, and so she made me. or I was born, however you want to look at it, all them years ago.
Well, I had no control over whether I stayed in her life or not.
Always choice. She chose one way now, too. And that means, as Natalie picks up the blade and points it at you, you gotta make a choice, too. Do you keep coming after her, knowing that she did it to be an effective Garu?
You're right, I do have a choice to make. But what does that mean for you? Will you just find someone else?
No, I'm not some ephemeral thing. She made me to protect herself.
And the knife. Where did she get the knife?
Wedding present. Her husband, guy rest his soul, wanted her to be able to protect herself in case something of the worm did show up at the cairn. So she offered to take him out on a hunting trip, and she took care of it. And then, being a widow, the Sept gave her some more free reign, and that's when she went out and found a couple Garu. So, gave her more free reign. You see, she saw the ineffectiveness of her husband, and the Garu nation as a whole. She always thought she could do better. She'd told you as much, at one point. So she went and found out about the Valkenburg Foundation. Went out there, saw a bunch of Garu suffering from debilitating mental illness, and knew that that gave her a good supply of skins. And then she met the man she named me after, a good old Sam Haight. Strange old child of Gaia kinfolk who went around the world. So she pinned the blame on him, killed him, buried the body, took his name. And we've been teaching folks how to reclaim their own power ever since.
And how exactly have you been doing that?
Well, simple, really. You lash out against those who clip your wings, against those who think you're useless, and you just prove how useful you are. Got some help. She wouldn't have gotten so extreme if it wasn't for a certain mage who helped twist her memories into making them worse than they were.
What's the mage's name?
Oh, I don't care. Taught me enough. Made it so that I made my ritual a little more potent, easier to teach. We discovered it, but it took a little bit of time. Hence where we went. It was very easy to prep the skins. Now it only takes one full turn of the moon instead of 3. And I'm building my own tribe.
What is it that you're planning to do with this tribe?
Live free. Difference with our tribe and your tribes is only the best can join our tribe, the most cunning. You all got your gifts handed to you in, excuse the turn of phrase, a silver platter. We actually got to take it. And it takes a mighty great amount of skill to take it 5 times.
5 times, but at what cost? The apocalypse is coming.
And that's 5 less useless Garu into 1 useful one. Fair trade in my mind. Dimitri, you're a sweet boy, but you ain't gonna turn her from this, and you ain't gonna turn me. And the only thing protecting you is her love for you. You showed her kindness, and you're the last visage of her home, and in some ways her humanity. And I'd rather her keep it. So you be a good boy and you jump out of this dream. I know all the gifts. I've helped her learn them.
If she made you, how do you know the gifts? Is that the mage?
No, I'm just a good talker. Dimitri, you're trying to pull out information, and you ain't gonna do it. It's time to go, or I will make you go.
Alright, I'll go.
Good boy. And Dimitri, as the voice changes back to Natalie, I will always love you.
I'll see you soon.
Not if I got anything to say about it.
Then I'll leave the dream.
And you leave the dream, and you wake up, it's about 4 a.m., still dark.
I think Dimitri is going to step outside for a moment to get some fresh air after all of that.
Sure.
And then maybe try to get a little last bit of sleep before everyone wakes up.
Makes sense. As everyone starts to wake up, it's a good early morning.
How'd it go?
I saw your sister's dream, and there was enough time last night. I was able to see Natalie's dream as well.
That's good initiative. Anything worthwhile?
A lot, actually. Natalie wasn't telling the truth when she said she had her first change. She went to the Valkenburg Foundation and spoke to a Sam Haight, killed him, and stole the skins of 5 Garu, and wasn't able to get a name, but she's been in contact with a mage, and they've improved the ritual to make these stolen moons. And when I was talking to her in her dream, a part of her trauma manifested itself into Sam Haight, and that's how I learned everything. This Sam Haight that is in her mind is their goal is to make their own tribe, a tribe of Garu that aren't part of the nation, that are free. And I think they've been from what I was told, they're targeting abusive Garu that are abusive to the kinfolk, and I'm not sure what to do.
Zeb will light a cigarette. God damn it, we couldn't find our ass in the dark with both hands and a flashlight.
Mark's mouth will be agape.
Well, she's 2 days ahead of us, and yet again the good doctor's bending us over and showing us that we're mere children in his game.
As you guys are discussing, some runners come in. Apparently there was a riot last night in Kansas City with several bags of flour that got shot open in the middle of everything, and it turned out they were full of anthrax. There was a bio attack now in Kansas City. The National Guard has been called in. The kinfolk are put on lockdown, and the Sept's going to have to figure out what to do now with that too. They're not pulling you in. They know that you don't owe them anything, but all the kinfolk are now trapped in Kansas City as martial law were declared.
We have to put out a warning to everyone that the stolen moon is on the run and exists, and what she looks like currently, and what she looks like in wolf form. We don't have a fucking cure for what the good doctor does to anybody. The only cure so far has been killing them.
And Zeb, there's one more thing. Your sister's dream and Natalie's dream were very similar, excluding the Sam Haight part.
Well, the good doctor wouldn't be sticking it to me if they weren't closely alike, with a very similar consequence, would it, Dim?
Yeah, I guess not.
Is it the good doctor causing the dreams, or Sam Haight?
I don't know. I wasn't able to get a name. The Sam Haight that I spoke to did not care about the mage's name. I thought maybe it would be an ally of the doctor, maybe, but I think it's fair to make assumptions.
I suppose it's possible that the death of Sam Haight would be enough to stop the dreams. Not that I know.
Could Mark do a, intelligence, or a wits occult, intelligence occult for lore on Samuel Haight? Because he was a Children of Gaia kin, and definitely his name would have gotten around.
You can. It will be Diff 8. Got nothing.
Dang it. Tip of my Garu tongue. This Sam Haight name seems familiar, but I can't put my finger on it.
Well, from what I was told, this Sam Haight was affiliated with the Valkenburg Foundation, and the real Sam Haight is dead. The one I spoke to was a manifestation of trauma, a mental defense.
Right. I understand that part. It's the name of the real individual. It just sounds familiar.
I mean, we have Hirano, which is a magical depression. There could be a chance that Sam Haight is a magical DID.
I mean, who's to say with the Umbra and constant and more frequent change, beings we haven't seen in centuries arising, now Ronin getting possessed.
Alright, well, sticking to the facts that this happened, a mage of some type assisted in making the ritual of gaining skins more powerful, and very likely that my sister is a branch on this. We have the problem. I'll send out more spirits about warning the fact that a stolen moon is on the run, and what they've done, and who the victims are so far. There's also another contact I'll try to reach out on the West Coast to see if she can help Constance.
Speaking of Constance, I just got a text from her. Zeb, she's scared. I'll write back. What's going on, Constance?
I'll find a way to sneak out and go visit her once we figure out some of the things we need to do here at the Sept. So thank you, William.
Yeah.
And let her know, yes, we haven't left yet. We will see her. We'll let her know what's going on.
Oh, she's at the hospital right now. She was there during the
God.
attack. And there's so much going on at the hospital. The staff doesn't know what to do.
All right, let's send warning spirits out now. Handle the things we can, and then I will head to the hospital.
Zeb, before we send the warning spirits out, the one sent to 5 mirrors, could we ask it to ask a question of them about this Sam Haight? See if they know anything about him.
It's your spirit to summon. Do whatever you'd like.
Of course. And that's what Mark will do.
Sure, I need spirit summoning rolls.
Okay.
I believe that's Wits Occult.
Keegan, I'll do the old-fashioned, owl spirit telling the children of Owl and get it through the Silent Starter network. But my second role that I would like to do would be to have a spirit seek out Luana, the kinfolk dream speaker of older brother,
Yes.
and try to make contact with her in the future.
Okay.
That might be like a shimmerling spirit that might be more appropriate for that if it moves across the dream. I mean, what do you think?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Choice.
I'll do the first owl roll first, and then that one.
Okay.
If that works, all right.
Yep, that works.
So what would be difficulty for that?
If it's just a basic spirit, then it'd be a Gaffling, which is diff... I want to say 4, but I'll double check. Yeah, Gaffling's diff 4.
Let's make it a rank higher, I guess.
A
Something more,
Okay.
something more conversational, I guess.
Okay. Sure, that's diff 5 then.
Diff 5.
As the spirit sort of arrives immediately, it seems kind of passive. It goes, unicorn's child. Why have you called me?
Mark will form an essence of gnosis in hand to give it to the spirit. What's the spirit's like form? What is it?
It is a unicorn spirit.
Okay. He'll make it like the shape. Okay, unicorn. Carrot. And
As it
give
feeds.
And I asked of you to send a message to the Sept of the 5 Mirrors, and then he'll relay the information of the Stolen Moon ritual, the mage that was used in the creation of it, and then he'll relay his question that he wants to ask the elders of this being known as Samuel Haight, that this trauma spirit has formed around, and see if there's
Sure.
any lore or information around that.
Okay. Cool. Owls arrive immediately and are immediately friendly.
All right. I will take notice in the form of mice and throw them out.
They're eaten.
A warning, kin, to all of our kin. One that has stolen the skins of Guru and done the most distasteful of rituals is on the run. I will give her description in her wolf form. I will give her known human name, and for all children of Val to relay this information. I thank you, kin.
Thank you, Kin. Flies off silently.
All right, and then I'll, for the Shimmerling, I think Zeb will meditate to try and attract those spirits appropriately in a very quiet spot, and then roll for that one.
Alrighty. The Shimmerling appears and it is completely neutral. It goes, why does such an ugly thing as you call me to this serene place? You send mixed messages, one-eyed wolf.
Zeb will provide gnosis to this spirit. I am still reminded of the times that are beautiful, and the memories we hold dear because of you and your kin, dear one. What I need is to reach out to one that knows you so well. She is called Luana. She is of the kin of older brother. She is a mage of the Dream Speakers, and I request her help, as there is one that has perverted the dreams and those that should dream freely and happily, instead poisoning them.
I see. As it kind of radiates back and forth. I think that is fine. I could possibly do it, yes, but what can you do for a bargain?
It is important to keep dreams alive, whether it's hope, knowledge, memory. I carry memories often to many. This I pledge always, but what might I do for your kin specifically, with which I have done Less than most.
Oh, I think I know. Yes. I think it'd be best if you paint a vivid memory upon your naked flesh and hammered form using the Garu glyphs, and then stand upon a field on a cloudy, full-mooned night and let the clouds slowly move to reveal your naked story to the world. Do not hide from any who would come across you, regardless of who they are, until the full moonlight has bathed you completely.
It would be a pleasure to say so much, but talk so little. Thank you.
As you're doing that, another day has passed, and the first spirit that you sent out does return, the one for Sentinel Mountain. There are only 3 Garu there left. They were attacked by their kin, who rose up and slaughtered them. They've heard of Natalie, but she'd left a year before the attack. The Sept has been bleeding out. The only Garu that survived were Cleoth, the 3 remaining, who had not solidified a bad reputation with the kin and the Sept, and who were out exploring a nearby city when the Sept uprising happened. They do not have the right to keep the Karen alive, and it has been failing.
It's not a phone call. We can't just ask them, have you tried calling somebody?
How many Septs did you really know when you were Cleoth, before you got kicked the fuck out?
Like 2. That's
You didn't.
fair.
I don't think you knew any.
Oh yeah, because the first one that we went to was after we got kicked out and we went to Louisiana, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we would have known about the people who visited us sometimes for moods, so we knew
That's
about
fair.
Steel Mountain and
That's fair.
whoever the
Either way,
fucking
they're
lupus are.
trying, but yes, because the other Septs are in dire need. They're actually putting out a call for someone to close the Karen.
I'm going to sneak off to the hospital at nighttime, catch a ride into town, but telling the packs before I go, we might think about if we're going to go and assist them up there at Sentinel, or if we hear some additionally terrible news from the Green, from Hidden Glade.
I don't know that there's much to do there but close the Sept. Do you have that right?
Yes, I actually went and had learned it from Teresa Fate Dancer, anticipating we might be closing more than a few.
Wise.
Are you going to need assistance?
For the Sept? Or at the hospital?
At the hospital.
I'll do this alone, but I might have to kill her.
Are you sure you don't want assistance?
It's just a matter of us all. I mean, you're not wrong about going there alone. We should all go there together. I might just sneak in alone with y'all nearby. That's a good call. This probably reeks of trap. No, I appreciate it. If y'all don't mind coming.
Of course not.
No, let's do it. We should approach in the Umbra, though, if the city's locked down.
Right.
So, crossing into the Umbra, you all take damage.
Well, actually, this is the part of it, though. If Anthrax had been released, I'm really wondering what the Bane population of the Umbra looks like right now.
No, yeah.
We'll avoid that part,
Yeah,
We probably don't have to walk direct through it to get to the
fair.
hospital.
That's fair. All right. It'll
We
give
could
us a good idea just
We
how
could
bad it
probably
is.
just fly over.
We'll travel to the Umbra until it's clearly no longer safe to be traveling in the Umbra, Keegan.
Okay. So you travel, and you get to the city. As the city, you see, the city looks rotting at this point, mostly because of all the fear. There's fear spirits everywhere.
All right. Assuming there's probably a cordon that's locked down, we'll at least try to get to a part, whether it's a park or otherwise, or we could, preferably something maybe with a pond, that we could cross over into the physical world.
Yeah.
Okay. It is difficulty 8.
I shall roll for Amori's Bane.
Alright. Instantaneously. As you both pass into the Umbra, or into the physical realm, as you take another lethal point of damage. You start navigating the city. Could I get a dexterity streetwise from the person with the highest?
I think that's still probably Howls-In-Memory, huh?
It's probably Dimitri.
I'm sorry, what diff?
7.
7. All right.
Zeb, will you take one of the earbuds with you?
Sure.
I will take one of the earbuds and give it to Zeb. This one will connect you to Cora and Mark. Cora has the one that connects to Dim and me.
Thank you, Brother William.
All right, Zeb, I need a charisma stealth to get past everyone here in the hospital.
Alrighty, let me roll to activate my good old fetish. Alright. And then I guess the base diff's going to be -2 for Owl, plus another -1 for the fetish.
That brings you down to a diff 4.
Okay.
All right, Zeb, you're able to stealth in. You look like you belong. You're able to shamble around like you're a patient, get some clothes on to move in as you get into Constance's room. Zeb!
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Sure. They finally got me on some antibiotics. They caught me early enough.
Things got pretty wild out there. I'm sorry it took so long for me to get here.
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. I've been a negligent brother for a real long time, okay? It's borderline abusive to be in our family just because we just don't pay attention to you until we need something or something bad happens. So it's not okay. By all means, be angry about it and upset. It got pretty wild out there. And the lady in town that we were talking to, she's really bad. Now, some bad things happened to her that caused her to do some pretty unspeakable things like you've been dreaming about. And I wanted to let you know straight what happened there. She's gone. She skipped town. I don't know if they're going to stop, but they are all about the fact that you are treated poorly and have been treated poorly. All right? But I got whatever I can do for you while you're in the hospital. Let me know. What's up? Talk to me.
They're getting me antibiotics for this anthrax stuff. They're over there, as you see. I'm going to take my next ones as you look at the pills. And you've seen them before. They're from Magadon Pharmaceuticals.
Keegan, am I able to use Mother's Touch on her?
You are. It'll cost an extra gnosis because it's not quite physical damage.
Right.
But yes, you can use it against the anthrax spores.
Okay. Assuming she has some water, I will...
There's a sink.
Right, or a sink.
Yeah, there's a sink.
Con, I'm going to try to help you with things that I know how to do. I figured you'd appreciate me using tap water instead of licking you.
Yes.
And so Zeb will go get a towel, get it wet, go to her, put it on her, and attempt Mother's Touch.
Alright, that's diff 5 because she doesn't have any rage. As you clean and you see black streaks on the towel of the sores she would have had being pulled into the towel itself.
I'm not too keen on you taking the... Do you feel better?
I do.
How do you feel?
I feel mostly the same, but I know it takes a little bit for anthrax to kick in.
Right. I know every company out there is connected to something worse. I mean, Magadon makes those pills, for Christ's sake. You want to stick here for treatment, or do you want out?
Get me out of here. If you think you cured me, then I don't want to be here any longer. This bed can go to someone else.
All right, Keegan. Zeb will try to assess, I guess maybe int medicine, just to see how bad this is. Or even maybe sense worm to see if she's still infected.
Sense worm wouldn't do it. Anthrax isn't inherently worm tainted.
Right.
It's on farm animals and shit.
Right.
Naturally, so.
Right.
But you can do int medicine. But it will be diff 9 because it was such early stages.
Yeah, Zeb's not a doctor. Yeah.
Alright. You're fairly confident that she is no longer infected.
All right, I'm gonna radio to the team. I guess I'll activate that fetish, huh?
Yeah. It's diff 3 because they're so close.
I'm gonna try to get her out of here.
Alright. That will be a dex stealth or a charisma stealth, whichever is lower. And even with all your negatives, it's a diff 7. You get her out?
All right. This will be the fun part of trying to get you to a spot that you can crash. I don't know. You know someone around here you can go to? Just to your car?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
I'll go to my car. I'll figure it out.
All right.
Zeb, you can send her to the Sept. The kin there are always accepting more. She's got experience with farmland too.
Not for me. I'm not moving out. I'm just off my farm temporarily. I appreciate it though.
You can be temporarily somewhere more safe. I'm not trying to kick you out. I'm just trying to provide some more protection. and I try and look after all the kin.
Take your point.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's your call. You
Right.
do what's best for you, Constance. I'm just giving you an extra option.
Sure, I appreciate it. I'm gonna stick with some of the kin here for now. We're gonna figure our shit out.
Khan, you got his number. You can hit me up one time on this, and he'll hold up his.
Okay.
If you need me, call me. We'll be there.
Yeah.
The folks outside the city, they're having a time of it, but they don't seem to be bad folks. They're just completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I called for some extra help outside of the family to try to help. And if I hear from her, I'll let you know.
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense.
All right. Zeb will uncharacteristically give her a hug,
She'll
but try to be a decent human being.
gently pat him back, as you can see. You all see how alien of a thing this is to her, of Zeb hugging.
I'll try to be less of a deadbeat, Khan.
Appreciate it, you ugly mug.
Take care. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon.
All right, Zeb. I'll just get infected by anthrax next. That way I can get a hug from you.
That's enough personal growth that I've had for a day, William. But eventually, yes.
Mark it on my calendar 5 years from now.
If we're still alive, I'll give you a hug.
Deal.
Well, I appreciate you all coming with me on this errand. We'll see if it doesn't backfire on me spectacularly later.
So, going through some of the stuff as you guys are waiting then, just to get your info. November the 20th, the Hidden Glade information finally comes back to you. Hidden Glade had Natalie for a while. She left for personal business, but returned. There has been a Garu who'd been skinned and murdered in Boston. Hidden Glade, though, despite all of its flaws, had not performed a lockdown on their kin, and instead had actually reached out to the remaining kin and let them know of the situation. November 23rd, the spirit from Five Mirrors returns. And the spirit informs Mark that Samuel Haight was a kinfolk at the Valkenburg Foundation, and it is said that he discovered an ancient rite that allowed him to skin Garu and become a Garu himself, and created what is known as the Stolen Moons, which is considered one of the greatest shames of the children of Gaia to date, that he is related to them.
Mark will visibly smack his forehead in front of the Pax as the spirit chatters away at him. I knew it! And inform the Pax of the individual known as Samuel Haight.
So it could be a possession. Possibly, at least.
Only an individual with a spirit very powerful could do that. He could just be beyond kin that made a nifty ritual now.
The dead are returning to walk the earth. Who's to say that the spirit hasn't returned and impregnated a body?
What else has he learned in his time, in his passing? If he's able to be clever enough to come back, he most certainly was clever enough to dodge Stygia.
I don't know if it's so much that, or as Dimitri was told, she's created something completely separate. So Haight was bad. Haight died. And then imagine now we've got an order of magnitude worse, that Natalie had used this to protect herself from her own trauma. That's been wielded even more by something else outside of her. And so don't even think of it. These are now separate things, but still bad. Now this is Samuel Haight 2.0 if he'd been manipulated by some extremely powerful entities and emboldened by the worm, versus just those original beliefs. Because again, this is everything that she witnessed, that she shaped now. And it's still more her because, again, she didn't opt to kill Dimitri. Natalie was willing to hold that back. So again, Samuel Haight's gone, but this thing that she's created and has now been fed in her mind is its own new evolution, and could very well be much worse if it's about inflicting revenge on those more abusive to her kin, or whatever slights she saw versus the slights and the insults and the things that bothered Samuel Haight as a member of the Children of Gaia. So we'll have to think a little bit differently, I think, on that, friends. But it's good that you got the confirmation that he's dead, and that everything that else happened lined up.
They
to know
never.
what
They
happened.
think
And
the
it
Skinner
never
is still
said-
alive. They think.
They think he's still alive.
Yeah,
Okay.
they said the Skinner. He
Oh.
created the stolen moons. They
Right,
think
right.
Samuel Haight is still alive and that he's the one traveling around.
All right. Well, she's claiming differently. So it could even be worse. What she said is she murdered him, and I'm sort of inclined to believe that she very well might have. I guess we get to find out. It's always worse.
Oh, it most certainly is, Brother Zeb. And my paranoid nature leads me to think many things about this. She says Samuel Haight is dead. She killed him. What if she just said that?
What
she
if
killed
the
two
right one-
Garu or more?
Well, right. Not just saying that she's incapable of killing Samuel Haight. But what if it was convenient for us to just be told that he's dead?
Well, it was also convenient for us for her to lead us to the BSD that we needed to kill, and then she left. But
Well,
She's
certainly she
assumed-
has a...
she's assumed the role no matter what. And now she's going to right the wrong of kinfolk all over. And if it's anything like what happened with Storm Chaser to us, or up there at the Sept and the Sentinel, the Get of Fenris fortress has fallen to kinfolk revolt. That is alarming to me.
Very sad.
I mean, remember what it took for us to get there.
So, are you guys going to return to maybe Sacred Stone to wait out the rest of the info? Or what's the plan?
I feel like it'd be a good idea to go to, words.
Sept of the Sentinel?
Yes. Because
Okay.
there's only three Cleoth there. They're bound to get attacked again, by somebody.
Sure.
What can we do but get them out and close it?
Sure.
Or, I mean, leave them to their own devices and hope for the best. Because that works so well.
I mean, it makes sense to go close that Sept because then we can also send these Cleoth somewhere else. Probably to a Get Sept. But still, they can't learn here. They have too many other responsibilities, and the responsibilities will, in the end, be pointless. So,
It's northern New York. It'll be quite a journey from here.
maybe the Sept has a moon bridge.
Yeah.
Didn't
worth
have
the
anything
ask.
west, but maybe east.
Maybe east.
So we'll go out?
Yeah, alright. So they will be able to send you east. They can get you all the way to West Virginia to a Bonar Sept known as the Sept of the Mountain Protectorate, located in Cold Country.
Very least, that cuts the journey in half. So, I mean, it's either that or track down our stolen moon, right?
Indeed. We've warned everyone we can. At this point, take care of the thing that's a vulnerability. There'll be plenty of time to hunt her down later. And we'll probably need to get back to Sacred Stone anyway.
My question is, can the stolen moon shift into multiple different forms?
I think she gets them all.
So they could be hiding in plain sight without us knowing.
Right? Tried as much as we could to detect it with Natalie, and we couldn't.
Okay.
Heading to Virginia then? Alright. You shoot there. And unless you want to use your gift, Zeb.
I was going to use the gift when we at least got like a few 100 miles closer.
Okay. Sure, because it's about a 19-day journey normally on foot.
Right. So at least get us to West Virginia first, and then get the lay of the land, some info
Yeah, that's
from the
what-
boat
yeah.
and Mars. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant, taking the moon bridge there.
Right.
But it's 19 days once you've made the jump.
Right.
Yeah. So, you jump over there, and you start to trek that way. The time jump.
I'm sorry, I'm not. Are you not going to use the gift, Sean, or are you waiting until we're halfway?
I mean, I guess how many 100 miles is it that we're going? It might be beyond
It's
the power of the gift.
684 miles.
Okay, so we could do it in a. Okay, yeah, we could do that.
It's up to you. I'm
No,
perfectly.
no.
We'll just steal another car. I don't
No,
mind.
I have no idea. No, that's fine.
I'll steal 1,000 cars.
Yeah, you know what? Let's boost a car instead. I don't want to show up there with zero gnosis and then try to get into ritual time if they're like under attack.
Alright. So, stealing the car and all that, it takes about 2 days. As you get to the Sept of the Sentinel, you see the 3 Cleoth there. The Sept is, kind of horrifying. It seems that all the Garu who were killed here, the Cleoth tell you, were skinned. Every last one of them. Tatiana's own child shot her through the heart with a silver bullet because she refused to kill her own child.
How many Garu did they kill?
The whole Sept, but minus the 3, a total of 15.
Enough for 3 stolen moons. Do you 3 know where you're going to go next?
We were thinking of heading into Nova Scotia. There's some Get Karens in that area.
Keegan, what do I roll to see if they're telling the truth or if they're just fucking lying to me?
That'd be perception, empathy.
What diff?
We'll go with 6.
Just question. Don't you have a truth hearing?
Yeah, but I didn't activate it before they started talking.
Oh, okay. You gotta activate it before. Okay, my bad.
All right. Kind of telling the truth. It's very clear that they have no fucking clue what they want to do. But Nova Scotia seems like the closest first place.
To be clear, I wasn't actually asking about that. I was asking if they were lying about, oh yes, they killed 15 and that was enough for 3 and we were away. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's just 3 and 3.
No,
so it's just like,
No, so these ones, they did not lie about that. They are just Cleoth, and they are obviously emotionally shaken the fuck up.
Is there a Thurge among them that has performed the Gathering of the Departed for the Fallen Garu?
There is. They don't know the rite, though.
Mark does. And we'll invite everybody to help him with the rite.
Okay. The rite...
You have to make it a Fenris, though.
Well, he knows the Child of Gaia version, so shit out of luck. One last way to piss on their graves. So if we could get the... So we need you to do right... If you're doing Rite of the Departed, we're just going to do one big roll for it, for the sake of not doing it 15 times.
Yeah.
So it's Charisma Rituals, and the average rank is 3, so it'll be diff 5.
Okay. 5.
So you perform a decent rite for them, but due to the number of Garu, this whole thing takes about 5 days, and they're finally put to rest.
While he's doing that, or at least part of that, Keegan, Zeb will sit with the cairn spirit.
Okay.
And just speak to it, learn its names and stories, with probably grabbing Dimitri with him.
Okay.
And letting it know that we'll be closing the cairn, but that the warriors of the Gate of Fenris guarded it so it would not fall to the enemies of Gaia. And so we'll try to build as much of a rapport with them as possible.
Okay.
Before we close it.
All right, let's do.
And we'll fight, like we'll do all kinds of stuff to just try to try to amp it up a little bit while they're saying goodbye to everyone. We'll let Cora beat us up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll take part in that.
As the Fenrins, as the spirit does, look you over, watching, as Titsus Kea watches over you, acknowledges your strength, and you perform the rite to close the cairn.
What's the rank of the cairn, Keegan?
It is a rank 3 cairn.
Okay. My successes have to equal the rank of the cairn. I'm guessing it's an extended roll where my diff would go up. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
In the first 5 hours, you successfully close the cairn.
And is its pathstone here?
Its pathstone is here.
All right. I guess we'll pull it.
There are 3 pathstones here for their 3 moon bridges.
All right.
And Mark can carry him because he's got a big ass backpack.
Give one to those 3 Cleoth.
Okay.
Wherever you go, bring this with you. It will help. If it's not Warriors of Fenris, wherever you end up.
Thank you.
And I think we probably know of some other Get Seps in the area. We'll just give them info, rough descriptions,
sure,
that kind of shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, you guys are driving back to Colorado Springs after this. It will take 3 days. So, 3 days pass. Is November 25th. you're still waiting on the Steel Mountain Garu. As a little over a week passes, it is now December the 10th, and you finally get a call from Steel Mountain.
This is William.
Hey, William, it's Leeds of Steel.
Hey, Leeds of Steel. How you doing?
Good. So, sounds like the Foundation had been abandoned after an incident about 3 years ago. And it looks like several mentally ill Guru were killed and skinned by Samuel Haight. And all we know about Haight is some old pictures of him before he became the Skinner, and all witnesses at the Foundation had been killed. Haight sent a spirit out and told kin. The only thing we know about Haight is what the kin who either spoke to him via spirit or via phone call, that's what he did and that's how he gained his power. But Haight's mysterious and hasn't shown his face since the Valkenburg days.
That's interesting, because we might have ran into somebody by that name.
Really? You
Yeah.
came across Sam Haight? You'd be the first Garu to see him since he became the Skinner.
We technically ran into Natalie, who has created a second personality to hide their trauma. And that second personality is named Samuel Haight. I'm not sure if the two are linked, but it seems like an awful coincidence for it to be two separate incidences. And
I
Natalie is also a stolen moon.
I see. We'd gotten some messages about a stolen moon. Some Silent Striders came by and told us about her. Gave us a description. But that could be. Either way, all we know about Valkenburg is that it's about 10 miles north of a town called Newcastle out in Wyoming. It was a private ranch, but from my understanding, after everything happened, it all went to shit. It's all in disarray.
Has it been fully abandoned, or is it still operating, but minimally?
Fully abandoned. As I said, everyone who worked there was killed. An investigation happened. They found the bodies of several skinned Garu, dead kin who worked with them, and the Garu who helped those kin, all dead.
Do you have the names?
He gives you a list of names.
Be on the lookout for them, because I believe the Stolen Moons take on their appearance to some degree.
That's not what we've heard about stolen moons. We have come across a couple, or at least others have been caught and killed. They're rare, but they look like the kin who did the skinning. It's just that their Krenos and Lupus and Hispo fur looks like an amalgamation of all the Garu that they'd skinned.
I'll keep that in my back pocket as well.
Anyway, there's the address. As he sends you the address, he tells you the address of the old ranch in case you need it.
Much appreciated, Lisa Steele.
Yeah. Good luck out there.
You too. Keep up the good fight.
Alright. So what's next?
I'll pass along the information to the rest of the group,
Okay.
holding back no detail.
Sure.
The option's there. I don't think we're gonna find anything that hasn't already been uncovered at the ranch, though.
The only thing that comes to mind is I suppose we could confirm Sam Haight's death. Ask an earth spirit or whatever if there are any bodies buried around. But I don't know that gains us all that much.
Where was it that Natalie told you that she killed Sam, Dimitri?
She said it was at the Valkenburg Foundation.
Perhaps that's where we'll ask our earth spirit.
But
Yeah, that's the address we just got, right? So
Correct.
Oh, I'm sorry.
knowing what we know, it could be just part of this alternate personality that she believes she was there and killed him, but she was told the stories about him or heard of him. But I don't think it would hurt to check, because he was described as an old man from what I was told.
So, there is a moot in 2 days. I know, Zeb, you wanted to do the Karen rite for that?
Yep.
Okay. So, make that roll as the moot happens. Games are being had, and you'll be able to do that before the renowns are recognized.
Alright, so it's capped at my gnosis rating anyway, so that's fine, because my dice pool is actually higher.
Well, performing that got you 2 honor. As Garu start giving up Gnosis to the Karen to keep it alive, feeding it. And then Renowns to be recognized. Kind of figured. So they performed the rites, no one speaks ill, so all of your Renowns are recognized. And then it is time for challenges. Who would you like to challenge?
Zeb will challenge the Grand Elder of the Sept.
Okay. He looks at you. He looks you up and down and goes, very well. So it shall be. Zeb speaks in sweet whispers. You must seek out the Bane spirit known as Blood of the Open Sore. They are currently lurking somewhere in West Virginia. Find the spirit. And then you must then go into the Bane's lair. You must cleanse the Bane. You must rename the Bane. And change its nature back into being that of a Gaian spirit using no gifts but spirit speech.
I am honored. Thank you, Grand Elder.
Who are you challenging?
I will challenge the Master of Rites.
Alright, Fate Dancer goes, very well. Mark speaks in sweet whispers. You must go to this 10-acre field 20 miles east of Colorado Springs. You must summon a fire spirit. You must then make the spirit act contrary to its nature without harming it in any way, to walk across the field and not spread its fire. The relationship must remain intact.
So it will be done.
And so it shall be. Next time. Thank you to everyone who listened. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Farewell.
Bye.